Restaurant employees just don't get paid enough. Hey everybody, Ryan Gromfin here, author, speaker, chef, restaurateur, founder of therestaurantboss.com, as well as clickbacon.com and scalemyrestaurant.com. Any of you who've been watching my YouTube channel or my videos long enough know that sometimes I like to film videos in the car while I'm driving places, because sometimes I just get hit with inspiration. And I was on the phone with someone this morning, a client, actually a manager at a client's restaurant, and it kind of hit me for this idea, and I was like, I'm just gonna film this in the car while I'm running some errands today. So here I am. So restaurant employees aren't paid enough. Maybe. I mean, the argument can easily be made yes, the argument can easily be made no. We know that it's hard in the restaurant business. We know that you work long hours, you don't always get paid as much as you should. But the one commonality that I notice is that most restaurant employees, even managers, have this idea that I will do more when I get paid more. And that's just not how it works. So if you're an owner, maybe get your team to watch this video, send it to them, or maybe explain this concept to them as I start going through this video more. Or if you're a manager or a chef or a cook or someone in the restaurant business that's working your way up, this video is really for you. And what I like to say is, if you do more than you're paid to do, you will get paid more than you have to do. If you do more than you are paid to do, you will get paid more than you have to do. What that means is we have to put in the work first. At the beginning of your career, as you're growing your career, you are going to be underpaid. That is a fact. In almost any career that you go into, you're going to be underpaid. I was paid $5.15 with a degree from a culinary school at a 5-star hotel as a cook, and I was a very good cook. When I took my job as a sous chef at a 5-star hotel, I was paid $29,500. This wasn't that long ago. This was like 15, 16 years ago. So it's not like, oh, Ryan, 30 years ago. But the point is, I was dramatically underpaid, but I worked my butt off. I put in more than I was getting paid for. I worked off the clock. I stayed late. I came in early. I did work from home. I dedicated myself to my craft, and I got promoted very quickly. Not just promoted, but I got on people's radar. I got on people's radar to get investments, to become a partner, to open up restaurants. And then you get to a point in your career where you get paid more than you have to do. You get so good at your job that you're paid for your experience. You're paid for your ability to make decisions. If we think about, why are we paying people so much money? Why does an executive at a company get paid so much money? Why does a CEO get paid so much money? They don't really work that much harder. I mean, they do, but not 100 times harder or 1,000 times harder. There aren't even enough hours in the day for that. What they're paid for is their experience. What they're paid for is the situations they've seen, the knowledge. What they're paid for is their ability to make a decision quickly, and that decision is probably the correct decision and has a high probability of success. And the only way that you can get to a point to get paid for your ability to make decisions, for your ability to solve problems, is to have put in the work. You have to have put in the work. And when you put in the work, you're usually getting underpaid, because you don't always make the right decisions. You don't always do things right, and you make mistakes. Owners and operators that I talk to all the time are willing to pay more if they felt that their team was going to make the right decisions, do the right things, execute properly and on time. But it's always this give and take of, the employee and the manager don't want to put in more until they get paid more, and the owner doesn't have the confidence to pay more until they see more. So someone's got to break that cycle. And the reality is, yes, the industry is starting to pay more, and it's deserved. But even when the industry starts to pay more, there are still going to be jobs that are underpaid and people that feel underpaid. And if you don't want to be in that position, just put in more when you can. You know, again, I told you I started this conversation earlier today with someone who's a manager, and he was brought in to manage a restaurant, and his goal was to eventually be a manager or a partner when they open up another location. And it's going slower than he thought, but he's not acting like an owner. And the owners get lease proposals all the time for new locations, but they don't want to start a new location until they have a manager who's groomed and ready to go, because they're off doing a whole nother project. So this was the guy. This guy was supposed to do it, but they're like, Ryan, I say no to leases and opportunities all the time, and we tell him about it, and he says he's ready, but he's not showing us he's ready. And so I got on the phone with him, and I've been talking to him for a couple of months and trying to help him through this, but really, he needs to start acting like an owner when he's not an owner. He needs to start making decisions like an owner when he's not paid to do that. He needs to start putting in the hours when he's not being paid for that amount of hours, to prove to them that he's worth investing in. And then they'll invest in him. They'll build him out a restaurant and make him a partner. And I see this a lot. I see this a lot when I talk to owners about their team, and when I talk to managers, they're just stuck. So I'm rambling on here. I'm driving. I just want to end it here with this one thing again. If you work harder than you have to, one day you will get paid more than the work you have to do. One last thing before I go. I love every single one of you crazy restaurant people. And remember, systems create freedom, freedom creates value, and value creates scale. Have an amazing day. Bye-bye.
If you want to learn to play the guitar, you'd hire a coach. If you want to learn to swing a golf club, you'd hire a coach. A great coach helps you achieve your goals faster. So why would you try to grow your restaurant without a coach? Getting access to our top quality training was financially out of reach for many restaurants until now. The Restaurant Boss membership gives you access to all of the training, resources, coaching, and webinars you need to properly increase your profits, improve your operations, and grow for less than a cup of coffee a day. Plus, when you join our membership program, you can work with me weekly. We call it Rocket Fuel, and I bet you can guess why. Are you ready to create real change in your restaurant? Join the Restaurant Boss family today.
I hope you enjoyed this week's training video. If you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, would you go ahead and smash the like button right up there so you can get notified every week when we release a new free training video. I've also gone ahead and put a couple of videos for you here and here that I think you're going to enjoy. Remember, systems create freedom. Freedom creates value, and value creates scale. Manage systems, develop people, and be awesome.